In this table, we have the data collected for the passengers of the Titanic, where in one row we have all of the people that have survived, and in another row all the people that died. And then in each of the columns we have men, women, and children organized into different columns. So let's start by totaling up each of the rows in the columns. So we have, adding up the men in the first column, we have 1,692 men. Adding up the women in the second column, we have 422 women. And then adding up the children in the third column, we have 109 children. Then looking at the row of survivors, so we have a total of 706 that survived, and the total that died was 1,517. Now adding up each row, each of the totals in the bottom row should give us the same thing as when we add up the totals in the last column. So they should both give us around 2,223 in total. So in the first question, find the probability that a randomly selected person or a randomly selected passenger died given that that person was a man. Okay, so we're looking for the probability that that person died given that they were a man. And so what we can do here is focus on this first column where they're all men. Because here we're given that they're men, so that conditioning event will limit us to just this portion of the table where we're looking at men. And so among those men, we have 1,360 out of 1,692 that died. So in this case, that would give us a probability of about 0.804. The next one was the probability that we select a woman given that the passenger survived. And given that the passenger survived, we're going to focus on just that first row of all the passengers that survived. Again, that conditioning event means we're going to focus on only that portion of the table. And so looking at that portion of the table, we see that there were 318 women that survived out of a total of 706, which gives us about 0.450. And then in the next part, what is the probability that we select the survivor given that the passenger was a child? Okay, so here again, that conditioning event of them being a child means we're only going to focus on that portion of the table. And where we have, of those 109 children in total, 56 of them survived, which leaves us with a probability of 0.514.